Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to query the model to get a selection of different things. And this will be pretty basic. You can build on it to find different things that you want. So go to Manage, Macro Manager. Let's create a new module. You can name this whatever you want. Name it your username. Or whatever you want to store these projects in. Now that we're past the variables and hello world. Okay, so first thing you want to do is public void spell public. And we'll set this as get stuff. If you're using this in some production code, you should probably name it something else, maybe like get collection, or probably use this more or less the code inside of this method more than you would use this as a method. But start by getting the UI document. Call this UI doc equals this dot application dot active UI document. We'll get the document doc equals UI doc dot document. Now what we're going to do is get a filtered element collection, but I'm going to store it in a list. So actually let me check something really quick. So we're going to actually grab the selection when we're done querying the model and refresh the view. So I need to see what data type it needs. So if I do UI doc dot selection dot set element IDs, it's looking for an I collection of element IDs. So I'm just gonna leave that right here for now, comment it out. By the way, you can comment a row of code by doing 2 forward slashes. So I'm going to get an I collection of element IDs and call that my stuff equals document, or excuse me, new filtered element collector. Doc. And normally, in an earlier video, I said you need to put a semicolon at the end of each command. This is not the end of the command, so I don't need a semicolon here. I'm going to hit enter because we're going to continue this command on the next line. So what I'm going to do is now that I'm querying the entire model for every element, so this filtered element collector gets elements from the model, and this is the model that I'm getting it from, so this active UI document. So now I'm going to filter that down to a specific class. So right now I'm going to get classes that are a type of fabrication part. And then I can say from here, if I want to access the specific properties of a fabrication part, like the CID number, I would cast this into a fabrication part. So what that's doing is I'm saying, look, I want to get all the elements, but I only want elements that are fabrication parts. And now that I know that all the elements are fabrication parts, let's not call them elements anymore. Let's just deal with them as fabrication parts. And this gives you access to the internal properties and methods of that fabrication part. And if I stopped right here, I can say to list, it would basically populate this collection with a list of fabrication parts. I do need to get the element IDs though, and I can't do it with the dot element IDs, but what I can do is do a select statement. I can say select Q, and this is just a lambda function inside of the select, and you can this is something you can do in a lot of the generic lists, or the interface like the iCollection. So I'm going to say Q equals greater than, and this is just a pointer. What I'm really doing is querying every object before it goes into the selection. I'm saying I want to select, for each element, the element dot ID. And what that's going to do is that's going to take, again, all the elements in the model. It's going to only select fabrication parts. It's going to access them or cast them into fabrication parts, and then it's only going to select the element ID, and it's going to send that to a list that populates this iCollection element ID. So basically this line of code gives me everything that I need to populate this selection. So let's stop it right there and try by putting my stuff in here, and then we're going to type in UIDoc dot active view, refresh active view, semicolon, and we're not editing the model, so we don't really need to do a transaction right here. I'll go ahead and build it. It built successfully, so let's go back and try to run it. So I'm going to go to get stuff and run, and there you go. It grabbed all my fabrication parts. I'm going to do that one more time. Get stuff. See, it didn't grab any of my families, diffusers, lines, views, anything like that. So if we go back to that, now we can edit it down a little bit further. After the of class line, I can do dot of category and use a built-in category dot, and I want to find ductwork. So you can find, they all start with this OST, but I want to find fabrication ductwork. So I can look for fabrication ductwork right here, hit tab. And now what this command will do when I run it, get stuff, run, notice it grabbed all my fabrication ductwork, but none of my pipe work. I'm going to stop the video right here. This is a quick example. I'll post this code as a just an example of how you can get things by class and by category, and have it show up on the view. In another video, what I'll do is I'll show you how to take this and query deeper into each item. So if you only wanted to find maybe round duct or duct of a certain size or piping of a specific material or specification, you could use the same method right here to get all of that information.